welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm not Tim. I'm his son.
And I'm Rod.
He doesn't get a name. He's just Rod's son. So this is Jordan. And Jordan's sitting in on this board game review. Tim hasn't played this game, so we're letting Jordan sit in and give his opinion. So to get started with Ticket to Ride, we're going to let Jordan tell us about the rules.
So the rule book is pretty thin. It's really like 2 pages. It has a good layout. It pretty much just tells you what to do right there. It will take maybe 5 minutes to set it all up. And it just tells you everything. It has a good layout on everything. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's a really simple game. It's not complicated at all. Once you get the basic understanding of how it works, you're ready to play pretty quickly. So, Rod, why don't you tell us about the components?
Components, you're going to have cards. And with the cards, what you have basically is colored cards. Color cards, what you have here. And basically these are going to, well, he can explain that in the rules, but you have the cards, and then you also have basically your tickets. These are going to be the routes that you're going to try to get extra points. You have these little, what do we even call these? These little wooden pegs. And what the wooden peg is, for instance, yellow, you'd have your yellow trains, and each time you do something, you get some points, you just move this down the track. Pieces are fine. I mean, they're nothing incredible. I mean, they're just small little plastic pieces. The board's nice. It's a little dull. I mean, I don't know on the expansion ones. Have you seen those? Are those brighter colored or?
It's about the same.
Okay. And of course, if you did make it too bright, you'd probably be washing out the actual trains themselves that you're trying to do. So it's functional. Let's put it that way. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about how Ticket to Ride plays. In Ticket to Ride, at the beginning of the game, you're going to get destination cards. And on these destination cards, it tells you 2 locations that you are trying to connect. Like in this particular one, you're trying to connect Vancouver with Montreal. So you're trying to go from way over here to way over there. And so at the beginning of the game, you get a few of these cards. You get to choose which ones you want to keep. And then these cards will give you points at the end of the game if you complete a route connecting in any way possible Vancouver to Montreal. So that gives you that connection. So you're able to, even if you go all the way around the board in some crazy way, if your train connects without breaking these 2 locations, then you will get the points that are on the card. The opposite is also true, that if you do not get the connection between those 2 points, then you lose however many points are on the card. One of your turns throughout the game is the ability to draw more destination cards, but they kind of keep you honest with that, because if you draw too many, then it's just going to hurt you at the end of the game. So the way that this works is you're going to get cards that you're going to draw on your turn. You can do one of 4 things. I think you can either draw more of these colored train cards, you can pick destination cards, you can place trains on the board, and I think that might be all that you can do. I feel like I'm missing something.
Well, the function of picking up the cards that are already exposed or not, that type of thing.
So you can
different variables there, basically.
Right, so on your turn you get to do one of those things. So you can't draw cards and lay trains. You couldn't draw a destination card and do something else. You get to pick one of those things to do. So that kind of keeps you thinking ahead. You're always like 1 turn ahead from wherever you're at. You're saying, I'm going to pick up these cards that I need, that way next time I can lay them down. The way that you actually put trains onto the board, your color of the train that you're using has nothing to do with the color that's on the board. That has to do with the cards that you draw. So in order for me to put trains down in this particular section right here, I would need 5 red cards. And so I would have to take turns drawing cards out of the pile, and they kind of have some that are face up and some that are face down, and there's rules that go along with that. But you're going to draw cards and get them in your hand, and when you have however many cards that are associated with that color, you'll play those cards, and then you'll get to put trains onto the board. And so that's how that works. So each turn you're kind of building up cards into your hand and looking at where you're wanting to go, and then you can lay cards out across the board. They do have a wild card in the game that's a locomotive, and the locomotive card can be used for any color on the board. So that's kind of nice. So if you need a space that has 3 red and you only have 2, then you can use a locomotive and claim that space. And so that's kind of how the game works. You take turns placing all your cards until someone gets down to, I think it's 3 trains that are left. And when one person gets down to 3 trains, that signals the end of the game, and you go around the board one more time, ending with whoever signaled the end of the game. At that point, then you start scoring. And so then you, throughout the game, you're going to be moving your little tokens up. Every time you claim a railroad track, you get certain points depending on that. The longer the route is, the more points you get. So they're rewarding you for claiming longer little sections of track. And then you get your points based off of the cards that you dealt, the locations that you completed. And then there's also one extra card that's awarded for whoever has the longest continual train track. So if your train diverges off into multiple places, that doesn't count. But if you have the longest continual track, then you get 10 points for that, I believe. And then whoever has the most points wins the game. So
it's a very simple game. I mean, but simplicity sometimes again is nice. I mean, we're just laughing because you know, Jordan's here playing this, and you can just only imagine what Tim's review of the game would be, because I made that statement about being simple. But I mean, it's I like the board. It's nice. They've got a lot of expansions out for. I think that's a pretty neat thing about it, and the pieces, everything worked well with it.
Well, I don't like it too much. It's not my favorite game because it is repetitive. You're doing the same thing every time. You're trying to get from this to there. You just put down trains. I don't like it. It's like playing like Uno or something, trying to get the same colors and everything. I don't. And then, like the whole time, you're trying to get to there, and if someone gets in your way, you just find another way to get to there. So it's just boring.
Well,
it's just boring.
The thing that I find with these games, and this is another party game, being a entry level to where you get your family involved, your wife involved, you know, that type of thing. This is a really good game because, you know, they're not going to be able to handle some of the stuff that you get from Mansions of Madness or one of those. You know, they're just not going to understand that. They'll have no clue. With something like this, it's a little bit repetitive. Then you can build them up and then take them into the next realm of games.
Right. For me, this was the second game that I bought that wasn't Catan. Right. So I went to the gaming store and I was all into Catan stuff, and then the lady said, well, hey, if you like that, you ought to check out Ticket to Ride. So this was my second game that I took a chance on, you know, because this game, if you buy it, you know, new, retail price is like $50. And so like I was like, man, $50 is a lot. You know, this is when I was just getting into the gaming world and I had no idea how much board games cost.
Exactly.
So $50 to me sounded huge, you know, and I took a gamble on this one. And I do like it. I like the game. I like the, you know, I know what you said. It's true. It is repetitive, but I find excitement in trying to score a lot of points. I'm taking chances, taking extra cards to try to connect routes, and you're kind of playing the timer, which is other people become the timer, because once somebody gets down to only 3 trains, that triggers the end of the game. So to me, I liked being able to press your luck, you know, draw extra cards, see if you can draw the right things and make the right places. And then if somebody does block you, like what he said, you get frustrated because you're trying to figure out how am I going to get around there to still connect the thing. And so to me, that's what I like. My wife does like this game, and we do play it a lot. I actually enjoy the iOS version of this game more than I like the board game version, just because it simplifies gameplay. I'm not having to do all these tokens, and I don't have to count anything. The application, you know, adds everything up for me, so I kind of like that. And you can play it fast on your iPad, faster than you can sitting down. Sure. And so, but anyways, I really like the game. So
yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that saves the game personally for me is there's 2 aspects of it. Picking up the extra tickets, so you get those extra routes. So you're trying to, you know, figure out how am I going to get the route and should I go for it or not. And then it's the poker face thing going on, because you're always kind of like, you know, sometimes I'll be building up over here, when really I'm wanting to go over here, so I'm just waiting for the right time to boom, start hitting over there. Because I'm always playing in a sense, what's he doing?
Right.
Why
are they going over there?
There's a reason why he wants Phoenix or something like that. So I'll start, you know, I better take Phoenix so I won't block him. And and so, I mean, there's a lot of aspects of the game. You can play it real simple, just throw your stuff down there, or you can
play cutthroat. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I will warn you. Yeah, my wife hates it too. I will warn you that if you ever take a location that your wife is trying to get, it will not be good. And they will want to quit right then. I'm not playing anymore, you know. But anyways, there are lots of expansions in this game. I think they have a Ticket to Ride, all kinds of stuff. Sure. I've got the Europe version. I don't have this version. In the Europe version, they have bigger cards, like actual regular-sized cards instead of the mini ones. I like that better. They do add some different aspects and expansions, like they have tunnels that are harder to get, and they have train stations. And then there's other versions. There's Nordic Track, there's or Nordic Countries, there's Marklin or something like that. There's got all kinds of versions. To me, I've got Europe, and I did buy the Nordic Countries one, and I kind of regret that.
Oh, really?
I got that in a trade, and I kind of regret it because if you have one, it's the basic game. So I'm not a big fan of the expansions to this game because it doesn't change it enough for me to validate adding that to my collection. So.
Well, shall we do our little vote on it?
Yeah, let's go. At the end of our video reviews, we give you a simple one dice review. So we tell you green, go buy this game, and we love it. White means I would play the game if it was out on the board, but I might not buy it. And then red means I wouldn't buy this game, and if somebody was playing it, I'd go play something else instead. So we're going to give you our one dice review, and we'll put them all out there and reveal. Ta-da!
He is more like him than I thought. He is Tim Jr.
Yeah, it's a Tim replacement here. You're doing well. So tell us why. Tell us why you like the red dice for this one.
Because, like I said, it was boring. It's repetitive. Plus, like if you get a card, like you start out with like however many cards, and you'll have maybe 2 of the same color. Well, nothing on here is 2. You only ones you have is these gray ones, and if you put one down, then you have one of the other one or something. And so then you spend the rest of your turns trying to get one card at a time, because that's like all you can pick up. So you pick up like one red one, then you have to wait your turn again before you can even count it up. So it's forever. And you have to wait till everyone goes, and then when you finally go, you put one down, then you have to do it again. And it's just frustrating. It's just I don't like this game at all.
Thus the red dice.
Exactly.
Die. Okay. Well, I gave it a green die because it holds, kind of some nostalgia for me, one, because it was that first game. My wife enjoys it. It's a good gateway game for somebody that's never played board games before outside of the typical stuff. And I do like it. I mean, I know that it's not a complicated game, but to me, I like what it offers. It's simple and good.
Yeah, I think it's a great game. Again, party game. I mean, when the 3 of us get together, we're definitely not going to play this. But when the wives, it's always a good thing to do. So, I mean, I think it's good games, playable. It's a good game.
All right. So, thanks for watching our video. Check out our website, BoardGameCloset.com, and comment and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And support your local hobby shop.
Trains.
Trains.